you all hear me well? Okay, so out of respect for everyone's time in this beautiful day, we'll go ahead and get started. I think everyone's found their seat. You got it, Dr. Bader?
Sorry.
You're fine. We'll wait. No worries. Just want to make sure you're safe. That's okay. I think the weather out there has a little to do with that. So just a little reminder, please do silence your cell phones. Make sure we have a lot of important information to go over today. So I want to make sure everyone who is snug in their beds watching from home can hear all of the questions and all of the updates. So please, any equipment that you have, please do get that silenced. I know we do have an announcement from Miss Annette, so I'll go ahead and hand this over to you.
Good morning. I'm Annette Pierce, Regency Oaks.
No, it is. It's on. You're not talking loud enough.
I'm the president of the Regency Oaks
Yeah.
Real close.
Scholarship Fund. We are a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, so your donations to the scholarship fund are tax deductible according to the law. In the next months, resident board members of the scholarship fund will be encouraging your donations to further the education of our hardworking associates through their programs in universities, colleges, trades, or certificate programs. Your donations will provide scholarships to qualified Regency Oaks associates or children of associates, and these scholarships will be awarded at our award ceremony the first Saturday in June, which is June 7th, here in the town hall. We are kickstarting our Regency Oaks Scholarship Appeal with a fundraiser selling nothing but cakes. That will be Thursday, February 13th in the South Lobby from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. Pre-order forms you'll find in your mailboxes, and you can pre-order them up until February 6th. What better way to celebrate Valentine's Day than to purchase these delicious cakes for your special person in your life, or even yourself? You all need special treats. Okay, so we want to thank you again for all of your participation, your donations, and everything that we can do for our special associates. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. Appreciate that. Any additional announcements? Madam President Margaret, anything you have?
No, I'm not over.
You and me both. All right. So just a little bit of updates from IHS. So they just wanted to remind you, we do have a companion program. Obviously, there's lots of things they can do for you. Organize your closet, help walk your pets. But anytime you might just want a little extra companionship and company, they can most certainly help with that for emotional support, and they can obviously come out to your homes. So if you know any of our residents who just need a little cheering up, who need a little bit of companionship, who might be going through something, we most certainly are here for you, and we can most certainly help keep you company and any other honeydews you have for us. So again, please keep that in mind for IHS. They're available 24 hours a day. And then, of course, contact Maddie and Christine at extension 502 and 503. So just a reminder, I know I was going to say this every single Tuesday for the rest of my life. Just please make sure we're returning items. It's gotten much better after the holidays, but make sure any wheelchairs, luggage carts, all of those items that we are making sure those are returned for everyone's use. So again, I'll just be reminded every week, but I do see them in the delivery halls, so I know we're doing a little better with that. Remember, we put little trackers on them. We did. We were tired of looking for them in your apartments. So again, a little bit of reminder from Betsy, don't forget to update the front desk when you're going away for at least a night. We are doing those daily check-ins. Please let the front desk know. when you return from home, when you're going for a hospital stay or medical stay. We usually have that information, but if you know it's routine and something, please do let us know. And then also if you have a change in your phone number. So we continuously focus on communication. We've implemented lots of processes and put in place, but it starts with having your accurate information. So we need your phone number to make sure that you are receiving those one calls and that you're receiving anything that the community is pushing out. So again, just a friendly reminder, please make sure you let the front desks know. Package arrivals, please be aware that sometimes when Amazon sends that delivery notification, that's Darwin. It's not always here at Regency yet. Sometimes it is loaded into the delivery truck. So please, when they do arrive at Regency, please remember the front desk needs time just to get them sorted and signed and all of that good stuff. So just bear with our front desk in Darwin there. We have your package. I know Amazon will tell you it's already been delivered. Just give us some time to get that logged, and we'll notify you that you can have that. A little bit about 2024, your tax letters. So Regency Oaks will be providing your annual tax letter mid-February. This is important to provide to your tax preparer, especially if you move to Regency in 2024. So I know that Sherry and Business Office has been working on all of those things. So please make sure that you have this information. And if you have any questions, you can of course contact our Business Office. Evan is actually out sick, but just a little bit from Environmental Services. We had a risk and safety visit, and we do continue to focus on workplace injuries and resident injuries and any type of issues that can arise here on campus. So we're just wanting to make sure we please help the community to ensure our workplaces remain safe for our team members, guests, and residents. The back of the house, north and south, must remain clutter-free. That is in your storages, that's in our delivery areas. That's something that we continue to focus on as additional clutter and items in the way can be of hazard. So those are just going to be some of our focuses for 2025 to help eliminate those areas as much as possible to mitigate any type of injury, whether it be worker injury and or resident. So again, that's one of the things that we are hyper-focused on for our employees, but we want to make sure that we raise awareness in general. So just a little bit from Darwin and Chris and our plant ops team. We are still down about 3 of our gentlemen. We are doing aggressive hiring and recruitment. So we do just want you to bear with us for those work orders. We will get them done. If it is a emergency, we will of course get those done. So we are just asking for a little bit of grace for that. But we had 125 completed work orders. We have about 39 still open. Elevator 3 in the south was repaired. The freight elevator is actually down right now, but they're actually here on site with the part. They didn't have to order it from somewhere else. So they have the part, and that should be back up today. I know that we had a false alarm last week after we had just replaced our brand new fire panel. But it was actually a faulty smoke detector. So we're doing an additional investigative work with Piper Fire just to try to get to the bottom of that, but it was unrelated to our brand new panel that we waited a long time for. It was a faulty smoke detector. So we'll continue to address that and do a little bit deeper dive with Piper so we can ensure you're not alarmed at 10 o'clock at night with a false alarm. I know that can be very disturbing. We did get some gaskets replaced in our north towers. We have completed 2 unit turnovers in our independent living for new move-ins. We did replace 3 new AC units in our resident apartments. We did have Clearwater Plumbing come out and clean the south kitchen drain pipes. We did get the spa repaired. And we did complete our safety visit. I fortunately was out sick, but Jed Trumpet is our new safety and risk assessment corporate regional. And he came out to visit the community. We had a really good visit. He was really impressed with the community. and with our plan and with our safety program. So all in all, that went really well. And I know Miss Margaret got to meet him when he came up when the fire alarm went off that night. So he is here. He's again, he took over. If you remember, Daniel Wicker was our previous, but Jed Trumpet is our new corporate support for that process. And then, as I mentioned, we are just currently down a couple of our maintenance techs, but we are aggressively recruiting to get those positions filled and covered to make sure that we can meet your needs and the needs of the community. So a little bit from Kelly, we had the fall clinic, but we did go ahead and cancel that this week. So updated information will be posted later this month, and the next one will be in March. But please do contact Kelly or Carol if you need any assistance with therapy or medical equipment. I actually am in therapy right now working with Diana, so she is kicking my butt, but they do a really great job, and I would highly recommend them, not just as the executive director, but now as one of her patients. She does a great job, and she stays on top of me and makes sure I make it every other day. She reminds me. So I feel like every time I stand up and mention this, I end up getting sick. So I'm talking to everyone, including my team. There are lots and lots of illnesses going on right now. There has been a spike in COVID. There is an outbreak in flu, actually in our skilled nursing center right now, many residents and many staff, and the norovirus. I actually was out with the norovirus, unfortunately. There are terrible, terrible strands going around. Please, 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 if you're not feeling well, please self-isolate. Please make sure you're washing your hands. We are beefing up all of the infection control in the high-touch areas, doorknobs, bathrooms, elevators. If you feel anything even feels like allergies, we suggest wear a mask and self-isolate. Obviously get tested. There's just lots and lots going around, and we want to make sure that we A, keep you well, and B, we don't spread it. So again, please do get tested if you even think it's allergies. That's sometimes how COVID can present. If you're feeling a little nauseous, you might just think that it's something you ate. That's how it started with my norovirus. We just want to make sure that we can get in front of it before we have a mass exposure. But we do currently have a flu outbreak in skilled nursing. That's not uncommon. Lots of residents come from the hospital. A lot of it is nosocomial, so usually hospital acquired. And we are continuing to treat that. So we cannot stop you from visiting. Residents in healthcare are legally allowed and are required to have their visitors if they wish, but we do highly encourage you not to visit skilled nursing right now for your own safety. So again, I want to be clear that I cannot mandate that you do not visit any of your loved ones or your friends. It is a state regulation that they're allowed to have visitors. However, I highly encourage you not to. Clear as mud on that? Okay. So just a little bit from Kelly in our wellness. We're actually working on a journey map activity. So we want you to join Kelly, Carol, Ginger, Sam, and Barbara are all going to be hosting a wellness journey challenge to kickstart our spring activities. So sign up at your trip tables today and receive your journey map before the meeting. And the meeting will be Tuesday, February 4th here in the town hall. That's going to go over your physical, emotional, environmental, spiritual, vocational, social, intellectual, and health well-being. And that's the 8th dimension of health and wellness. So I think it's going to be a lot of great information, and it's a comprehensive approach to making sure you maintain the best possible quality of life. So please do make sure that you join us. Look at that. Cute. So Ginger, this week I wanted to make sure we didn't have anything canceled, but starting Wednesday, the 22nd, we do have our casino trip at 9:30 pickup. So it's not too late to sign up if you're still interested in that. Thursday, the 23rd, Todd Seymour usually comes out multiple times a year for tax Q&A. He will be here at 2 p.m. here in the town hall. So if you have any financial questions, tax, Todd Seymour's been with our community for many years now, and I know he assists many of our residents with their financial aspect. He is a wealth of knowledge, and he'll be here on Thursday, the 23rd. Friday, the 24th, we're having our in-house therapy meeting at 11 a.m. here in the town hall. Friday again, the 24th, we'll have vocal cords at 11 a.m. in Grand Lobby South. And then we're going to have Carla Hines back. I know you love Carla Hines. Friday at 7 p.m. here in the town hall. Should be warming up by Friday, so they say. As far as sales, we ended the year, I know I mentioned it last Tuesday, well, Tuesday before that. We ended the year at a fantastic place. So on a budget of 56 sales, we ended the year at 61. So we have 61 new residents, new neighbors, and new move-ins for last year. So we're continuing, of course, to focus every quarter on our sales. We do have an event today that is called Organizing and Feng Shui. So it's actually going to be presented by Miss Nathalie, and they are an expert in Feng Shui. So that is for some of our potential new residents. We had about 38 RSVPs and 6 ambassadors that are helping with that. So thank you, as always, to our ambassadors and our marketing committee for that. We'll probably have a few less than that due to the weather, but nonetheless, we continue to have very successful marketing events, obviously to help the effort of our sales. On February 13th, Aaron wanted me to mention that at 3 p.m. here in the town hall, residents, please invite your families to join us for a resident and family happy hour. Look for the flyers to be posted. Marketing will not be contacting your families directly, but they will be sending an RSVP. So if you would like to join, obviously you most certainly can. Marketing will not be connecting with your families, but we are extending the invite, so please do let them know. But more information to come on that from Aaron, our sales director. So a little bit from food and beverage. We actually have the beer club that will be today at 21st, probably a good day for that. Our Greek theme night is Wednesday the 22nd. That is open, the north is open for lunch and the pub is open for breakfast and lunch, but will be closed for dinner for the Greek theme night. Food and wine pairing, Thursday the 30th. The South birthday dinner will be Friday the 24th. And then our gourmet dinner will be Wednesday the 29th. We did want to mention, so lots of conversations with the Railroad Board and Dining Committee. We continue to focus on all of our meal services in the north and the south. So we did want to divide and conquer with our food and beverage leadership. So Chef Tony is moving his office to the south. So his new extension will be 511. Ricky and Dustin will still be in the north. Chef Tony will be officed out of the south, but that won't really change anything as far as food and whatnot, but it will have additional oversight from our food and beverage team over there. I know that's been mentioned a couple times, so here you are. You got Chef Tony, South residents. So just a little bit of follow-up from me. As I mentioned, I was out sick for a few days, but just wanted to make sure that we can get in front of all communication and all the things that are going on. So we did finalize our pendant project. I know we worked on that for quite some time last year. There are still a few outstanding zoning issues, and Betsy's been working diligently with our pendant company. So we have them programmed. We're ready to give them out to you soon, but we're still making sure that they're fairly accurate. I know one that we tried from a residence apartment said they were out in the pine trees. We obviously don't want to release those if that's where they're showing, right? So we're continuing to work on that with the company. So we will be getting those out as soon as possible. We're almost there. It's a lot more accurate than it was. So we appreciate Betsy for holding their feet to the fire and for making sure that those are as accurate as technologically possible, meaning it doesn't show you in the trees. So we will be getting those out. They are almost programmed, and we will have additional information as soon as we get that from the company, from Senior Pendant Safety. I know I mentioned the south elevator is fixed, the fire panel is fixed, and we do not anticipate any additional false alarms anytime soon. Just a little FYI, we actually do have a sales conference. That is one thing I love about LCS is they're really big on continued education for all departments. So as you know, I usually have 3 or 4 conferences throughout each year. Well, this is our first one. So myself and the entire sales team, including the healthcare admissions team, will all be at our Vibe Sales Conference in Orlando on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. So I will be out, Kyle will be out, Aaron will be out, the entire sales team, all the counselors, all of the assistants, and we will have some of our directors help backfill in that office for those 3 days. But we will all be at a sales conference going over great new information and educational opportunities from LCS. I know I mentioned it, skilled nursing is in their flu outbreak. We just highly recommend that you do not visit until it is resolved. I know I mentioned Kyle and Evan are out sick at the moment, so if you do need anything, Wanda is here, and then if you need anything from healthcare, you can most certainly let me know. A lot of their team members are out sick as well. So again, just FYI. So, CapEx, lots of exciting stuff, not so much. So, we did get everything back, it has been approved. As I've discussed, remember Health Peak is our ownership. They are the ones who approve all of our CapEx expenditures. They approve it from a portfolio level of 13 communities. As you know, unfortunately, over the last 3 or 4 years, we have had many communities who have been significantly impacted by natural disasters. So much of any funding has gone to communities that have had to be restored after hurricane just 2 or 3 years ago, South Fort Square. And now we have 3 of our communities, Regency Oaks being one, and 2 of our other sister communities that are needing to do significant repair after the hurricane damage. So as you can imagine, all of the fund projects have to take a back seat to those priorities. So with that being said, this is the approved CapEx allotment for Regency Oaks for 2025. So we did get about $500,000 for elevators. So we obviously will utilize that to our best capacity to make the most impact to our elevators with that amount. Roof replacements, we will be doing 1 building at a time. We have about 1.7 million slated for those. One way or another, we will be getting the roofs addressed, whether that's in an insurance claim and or a CapEx project. That is still yet to be determined. New HVACs, that's something we put in the budget every year. We are in Florida, and we know our little ACs start dropping like flies right around March and April. So every year we have a significant amount of funds that's set aside for brand new units, those roof units, those corridor units, and that's about $300,000 this year. The paving project, as you all know, we've done that 2 years in a row now. That is actually required by our lender. So that is slated again for this year to do a 3rd portion at $150,000. I think it went much better this past year than it did the first year. So thank you again to the grounds committee and the subcommittee that assisted with that project. Our telephones are going to die on us any second now. In leadership administration, our main phone line is very antiquated. They must be updated, so we did have to prioritize that. That's about 125 that was slated. The Fire North Reno project, as you can see, the carpet aspect is still not completed, so that is holding up about 1.4 in residual funds as we continue to try to get that completed. The Hurricane Milton restoration project from all of the damages from our past hurricane, that has a slated amount. And I know there was some items that the RoRo board and you all residents kind of voted on that you wanted to see. A lot of them were not 25,000 over, so they weren't necessarily major projects. So there might still be some of these smaller items that were requested that we can work on with our routine. So meaning, I know Miss Margaret and I met and then RoRo board, and so some of those items were maybe 4,000, 6,000, 10,000. So they are items that we could possibly get done this year in routine. So we're not saying you're not getting absolutely anything, we're doing nothing for you, I've just kind of given you the lay of the land in the priorities and the more pressing items that we must address, and letting you know that there is still opportunity to get some of those other items implemented for you. Clear as mud? So I did want to go over this a little bit. It's something we're super, super proud of. So as you know, every year we either do a resident survey or we do an employee survey. Last year we did our employee engagement survey. We do it every 2 years. So the last time we did it was in 2022. Part of these surveys to be successful is always the participation rate. So our actual employee engagement participation rate was at 96%. Which is fantastic. I love to get the feedback of 96% of our associates. Our engagement total score was 4.09, which actually exceeded not only, if you see there that Holleran benchmark, Holleran is the company that does the survey. Their standard benchmark is 3.97. Our score superseded them at 4.09. You'll see below that, the LCS benchmark is 4.05. Our score superseded that at 4.09. So all this is saying, we really rocked our employee survey. This is indicative to their happiness. This is indicative to their satisfaction. Not perfect, never pretend to be, but overall, we had a fantastic score at 4.09 from all of our associates, 96.2% of them. So we were really proud of that. We're really happy about that. We had some of the most highest aspects, and then we have the lowest 3 that we will be action planning. We've already met with the team in our weekly analytics meeting and discussed what we want to do about those lower scoring benchmarks. But all in all, it was a great employee survey. I was really looking forward to our feedback, and I was really happy with the results. So just really appreciate. I know the scholarship fund and the gift fund is a big part of that. Everything that you residents do to help support our team members with those aspects most certainly help play into that satisfaction. So thank you for that. So these were just some of the highest scoring. I have respect for my supervisor. I know what is expected, and I provide the best possible care. So that just shows me that we do have a good culture of respect, accountability, and they're really passionate about taking care of you. So that was really important. I was happy to see that. This one shows up every year at every community. Nonetheless, we will be looking into it. The paid a competitive wage. Workload distributed fairly, and my opinions count. So we're going to be doing a little deeper dive. Obviously, every survey will have your top and your bottom. So those were our 3 top, and those were our 3 lower scoring that we'll be digging into in action planning and implementing strategies to address and move the needle on those metrics. Okay. So for the really important information, I want to make sure that everyone here and everyone from home gets this information. So please do encourage all of your friends and any of our residents to, if they have not attended in person, to watch the Tuesday talk on the YouTube so they can make sure they get this information. I know we've discussed it, but we actually have 2 projects going on now. The carpet is still to be determined. It's taken a little bit of a backseat since the hurricanes. So we are still going to be addressing that. We have not forgotten. We have not let go of it. It's just going to take a backseat to the more pressing items that we need to be addressing. As I mentioned before, we had a lot of significant damage after the hurricanes. There are about 212 areas within the campus that were identified. I know we had about 20 visits from between industrial hygienists, Blue Team, Crawford, Young and Associates. Lots and lots of partners came through your homes and came through our community with all their fancy equipment to assess water intrusion, water damages, any potential growths, etc., etc. So with that being said, we are going to be entering, we're in phase 1, we were mitigating, we were getting in there, drying things up, using dehumidifiers, making sure all these areas were dry and that we could address them appropriately. So for phase 2, we will be sending out a letter today. There is a list of residents who we still need to get inside their apartments. And with that being said, you will have to be relocated from your apartments for 7 to 10 days. So if you are on that list, we will be getting that letter out to you. We are going to have to relocate you from your home for about 7 to 10 days. It is not optional. It is not negotiable. We have to get in there to do the work to get your home addressed appropriately. We have to have the industrial hygienist sign off on the work, and this is going to make sure that your home is safe and that we have addressed all areas that were identified in all of those visits. So I'll let that sink in for a moment. So Blue Team's here today because I will open up the floor for any questions after I continue to kind of go into that process. So the way we're doing about 15 apartments at a time because Blue Team can't be here forever and we don't want them here forever. So we are doing about 15 apartments at a time. We are creating 15 guest suites on site, and we also have a partnership with a local hotel if you want a little vacation. So an optional vacation. So we will be relocating 15 residents at a time for about 7 to 10 days. Every 7 to 10 days, about 15 residents at a time. So we will be communicating. We are now meeting with Blue Team in the morning. We're now meeting with Blue Team in the afternoon. And we are walking with them once a week in all of these apartments. So again, we have to get this done as efficiently and effectively as possible. You just cannot be in there while they are doing all of that work for your own health. This will include your pets as well. So we of course will address how we're going to transfer you to another apartment down the hall with your pets and your bags, and we'll be helping you all along the way. So just a few takeaways. Only certain residents are affected. This again was confirmed by the multiple visits with the subject matter experts, the industrial hygienists, and all of their specific technological detection equipment. If your unit was on this list, if your unit was not on this list, there were no confirmed issues. So again, we will be putting a letter in your box. We have the list, I don't have it in front of me, but if you get that letter, you are on the list and we will be working with you for a little mini vacay. Yes. Rudy's back. Stand up, Rudy. Rudy is back. He was here for our restoration process, so he will be a main point of contact in helping us with this communication. I know any given day you're asking, when are they coming back for the baseboards? When is this? When is that? I don't always know. I'm still running Regency Oaks. Betsy doesn't always know. She's still doing her role. So we're going to rely heavily on our communication in place as well as Rudy to be able to help us with that communication. So as I mentioned, there's the phase scale, mitigation and reconstruction. We're now in phase 2, where we'll be moving in internal units, interiors, and communal areas. And then we'll be moving exterior roofs, our sales cupola, fences, and any of those external areas. We haven't forgotten about the water and the leaky lanais. The engineer's actually working on a plan for that as well in regards to sealing and any additional interventions that need to take place. The main communal areas that were affected were the North Main dining room, the private dining room, the sports bar, the activity room, and the library. So you've seen those areas. They did have water damage. They did have significant water intrusion. So a lot of them are going to need wallpaper removed, paint, and carpet. So those areas we will be addressing as well at some point in time when we get to that phase. With that, I know that was a lot of information to digest. What questions do we have? Miss Rosa, Betsy's coming.
Did the resident at the skilled nursing home get the flu vaccine?
Yes, absolutely, yes. Every year we are required to go through, and they do have the right to refuse. That is their right, but yes, we do have residents that were vaccinated for flu.
Could you repeat that question? I know that.
She asked were the residents in skilled nursing offered the flu vaccine, and the answer is yes, we do that every year.
I'm over here.
Oh, hi, yes.
How many residents are there that are going to have to be moved from?
So there's about 212 total areas. I will say about 100 residents. Yay me. Yes.
Okay, and does that include the hall, because like the hallway near me, if you look up, there's water stains?
It includes, yeah, it probably does. Yeah, they went through every inch of our 40-acre campus. It includes assisted living, it includes skilled nursing, it includes corridors, communal areas, and in your homes.
Okay, one last question. I signed up for the windows, the hurricane windows, and I was told maybe 2 months ago it would be in the next 2 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, I was told it would be within the next 2 weeks. I paid for the windows. I'm wondering what's going on.
Okay. I don't have an answer for you, but I'll have Darwin follow up. What's your apartment number again?
S504.
S504. And you wanted to add the hurricane windows? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? While I have Blue Team here, they are going to be the most appropriate to answer your questions. I am still the executive director of a senior living community. I cannot answer reconstruction, mitigation, remediation, any of that, but I will try.
If we had the dehumidifier in, does that mean that we're gonna be in phase 2 also?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Yeah, just because you had a dehumidifier doesn't necessarily mean, but it is possible. You have anything to add for that, June? Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to understand this. We have $3.9 million allocated for Milton repairs. How does Regency Oaks work with Blue Team to ensure that the work is being done and done properly? Like accountability is what I'm asking.
So there's a couple layers to that. Again, there is an insurance claim involved. Of course, we have deductibles, but there's an insurance claim involved, which is Crawford and their partner, Young and Associates. So Blue Team can't do anything that's not even approved by the insurance to begin with. And they are able to justify any of their work with the assessments that they bring in from the industrial hygienist, from the Young and Associates, from all of these people that's been on site. They're doing all of their testing to basically confirm that work is required. So there's that accountability, but as I mentioned, we, Regency Oaks, is meeting with Blue Team twice a day as well as once a week, and Darwin is really good about communicating on behalf of our residents and making sure that a unit is in good shape before we move on to the next, which is why we implemented that weekly walk process, so we can put our eyes on things that Blue Team is saying is complete. Does that answer your question?
Hello. I'm wondering, I had leakage, but it wasn't the windows, it was underneath the windowsill, down to the floor and into the carpet. They came in and poked stuff in the walls and the floors and everything, and I never heard anything else. So I don't know. I know I don't want anything back there until they caulk under the windows and fix the stucco on the outside. But that's probably 2 different things. So I'd just like some information. I don't know, I've asked several times and nobody's.
Well, you'll be getting a letter today if you are. But we'll specifically, again, remember we're working with over 212 spots, 400 apartments, so.
They're as bad as some of the others.
Sure. We'll follow up. We'll take a look at the list and one of us will get back to you. What's your apartment number again, Ms. Mariel? P512. Any other questions? Yes.
Hi, I'm asking this on behalf of folks who aren't here that I know will be on your list. And it has to do with their personal belongings that will be left in the apartment unattended for 7 to 10 days. I know you have procedures for the pictures that, I don't know what you have. And I know they're gonna wanna know, so
So as far as with pets, pets will go with them. We will encourage you to take any of your valuables. So any type of jewelry. I did purchase safes that I can keep them safely in safes within our community. You can take them with you to the hotel if you end up wanting to go to a hotel. You can take them with you to the guest suite that you'll be transferring into. We won't be necessarily taking pictures and moving every single thing out. They will be in there, they will do the work, they will cover up, using sheets and tarps and all of the equipment they use to where your items are not damaged, but we are going to be asking that anything, small personal items, that we can offer you areas to lock up or to take with you, so you don't leave them in the home unattended. Yes, Ms. Mary?
I'm just wondering how we get in touch with the blue team if we have a concern or
So I have Rudy's phone number up there. We will be giving that out, sharing that. So Rudy will be helping kind of communicate. We'll provide that. Any other questions? Okay, well, I know this is a lot of information. Yes, Ms. Johanna?
Just wanted to say before you run away, we have a really important meeting after this one where we explain lots of interesting and informational items that you can get as the little blue bars that come with the oaks. So stay afterwards if you'd like to know how to use those.
Thank you, Ms. Johanna. Okay. Well, all of you have a happy Tuesday. We're all here for you. Betsy, I, myself, Rudy can answer any questions. Bear with us. It's going to be a long road, but we're going to have almost a brand new community when we're done. So stay warm, stay well, and just thank you in advance. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.